God of War for the PlayStation 4. That's what we're going to be talking about here today, because I just beat this game moments ago, and boy was I blown away. Now, there are certain things about this game which I wasn't really a big fan of. However, the game corrects itself over time, at least in my opinion. Now, for those who are unaware, God of War is a series that started all the way back on the PlayStation 2, I believe back in like 2005, and traditionally, God of War has always been like a slaughter type to beat 'em up game where you play the role or take the role as Kratos, who is the son of Zeus. And in the older games, it was based on Greek mythology. So Kratos in the older games went around and he had this vengeance against the gods. And he would basically go around and kill gods that were Greek gods. Now in this game, it's a little different. This game is based off Norse mythology, which is a lot different. A lot of the gods in this game that you come across, that you face, I had never heard of. The only one that they mention is Odin, who I've always known as like the thunder god, and Thor, actually. They mention Thor, and a lot of the bosses in this game, to my understanding, are the people you face are like Odin's sons, which kind of is interesting because in the older games, you being Zeus's son, you face a lot of your brothers as well. Now, one of the things I was not a big fan of this game is your main weapon, at least for part of the game, is the Leviathan axe, which kind of made the game feel a lot slower to me and not as violent as the older God of War games where you had the Blades of Chaos, which those do make an appearance later on in the game. Spoiler alert. However, if you play the game, they, to me, became a big part of what made this game feel like a God of War game again. Because once you got those weapons, all of a sudden, at least the way I played, once you get the Blades of Chaos, the action felt like it was a lot more fast-paced like traditional God of War games. Now, this game is interesting because there's a lot of puzzle mechanics, there's a lot of adventuring and platforming, which kind of takes this game into almost feeling like an Uncharted game. And at parts of it, based on like certain combat you do with the Leviathan axe, I kind of felt like I was playing an Elder Scrolls game, at least with using the axe. I don't know if that's just me, and I also felt like the way Kratos moved felt like I was playing Elder Scrolls, but that's like little nitpicky things. Overall, the story is great. So you take the role of Kratos again, and you have a son now, Atreus, which if you guys have ever played the original God of War games, you know one of Kratos' biggest demons he has, basically, is what happened to his family. And I'm not going to go into his whole mythology. Like, look into that series of Kratos on, like, the internet, of kind of why he did the things he does and why he's always so, like, conflicted. So, anyway, you have a son now, and you're basically trying to raise this son because your wife, in the beginning of the game, is dead. Pretty much she died from something, and they didn't really get into it. I'm going to assume she was sick. And your whole goal is to kind of bury her ashes throughout this game. Now, that kind of seems like it's a really simple thing, but naturally, this is God of War, so something has to go get messed up somewhere and make this game violent. Which, I mean, it wouldn't be God of War if it wasn't. So, I'm very happy that the game got violent. I guess that's weird to say. But overall, unlike the other God of War games where they were kind of more linear, this game is very open world to an extent. Like, when you have to follow the main story, you're kind of in a linear situation. However, you know, there's a lot of side quests, a lot of after game or after main story stuff to complete, which I haven't completed really any of it. There's a lot of collectibles, and pretty much just this game is a complete package. Sony and Santa Monica Studios, who made the other games in the series, definitely did a very interesting thing by evolving the God of War game. However, not really fully changing what made God of War, if that makes sense. God of War always felt like a really arcadey game, and this new reboot of the series does have its arcadey aspects. However, it also is a more complete story-driven game, but there's a few things that you know, I'm nitpicky about. Like, it's never really explained how Kratos kind of switched dimensions almost from being like in Greek mythology to like uh, Norse mythology, if I'm even pronouncing that right. Like it's kind of just like he's there because he couldn't live where he was living anymore, and the demons were like eating at him. Which it's funny because there are flashbacks in this game to the older games, which kind of shows his conflictedness still hasn't really changed. Um, Overall, I would definitely recommend picking this game up. And for the $60 price tag that it still is, it's definitely worth it. It's like a 25-hour game. However, to me, it felt like just the length of the original games, only because you get so enthralled with playing it that really, at the end of the day, this game just draws you in. You get to see Kratos in an aspect where he's trying to raise his son and be a good dad, but not trying to let his son really know about his past until the time was right. And just overall, it's a very mature game as compared to the other ones in the series. And I'm not talking about mature as in like the violence. I'm talking about mature as in the aspects of just character development. It's very interesting. You get a lot more of a mature Kratos where he's trying to like raise his son, teaching him don't do these things unless like certain situations like call for it. Whereas in like the earlier games, he was just there, and anyone who got in his way, they were getting destroyed. Guys, if you've played a God of War, the new one for the PlayStation 4, or anyone else in the series for that matter, leave your thoughts down below about what you thought of this game or any of the other ones. As always, guys, thanks for watching my video. Go pick this one up. Like it, share it, subscribe to the channel, go check out all my other videos, my gaming videos, and just everything in general. Until next time, thank you for watching this, and you guys have a great day.